Okay. Hi, welcome to Chef Ava Marie Happy Hour podcast. Sorry we're delayed. I am your host, Chef Ava Marie. This is a very special show of the hour. We are delighted to have, let's see, the councilman of the city of South San Francisco and vice mayor. Without ado, let's bring in Mark Nagales. Hello, Mark.
Eva, how are you?
Doing fine. I forgot this is a live show. How you doing?
I'm doing really, really well.
That's wonderful, Vice Mayor. So we're lucky to have you. So I wanted to ask you some questions. What got you into politics? And just
Yeah, that's
going, yeah, it's a question. Yeah.
no, that is a great question. It's kind of a roundabout story. If you remember Gene Mullen, who used to be the mayor of South San Francisco and also the assembly member for our district, before all that, he was my high school teacher,
No
and
way.
he was my government teacher at South San Francisco High School. And one of his assignments was to go to his city council meeting and
Yeah.
track what's happening. So not only did I see him at school, I had to see him at night at his council meetings.
Mhm.
But but there was something that sparked an interest in me because what I was seeing was a group of individuals coming together,
Yeah.
trying to do what's best for their city,
Yes.
and that really sparked an interest for me uh, in terms of maybe this is something I can really get into.
In
And
your
I started,
district.
yeah, well, I started interning in college for various elected officials, and I kind of got the political bug. And and I, after college, I was able to do a couple additional internships and get several jobs with various elected officials, including
Which
Gene Mullen,
including
including
what
Gene
about
Mullen,
okay.
and so I worked for and Gene Mullen and Jackie Spear. And so Gene was already in the state legislature, and
Okay.
he brought me onto his staff. And then
Hmm.
after a couple years, Jackie Spear had won a special election
Yeah.
for Congress,
Congress. Yeah.
and then she hired me away from Gene, and I ended up staying with her for 10 years. And during that time, I was getting really interested in what's happening locally, and so I decided to apply to the local Park and Rec Commission, and I was appointed, and I was there for about 7 years, and
Wow.
then there was a spot opening in the Planning Commission, and I applied and I
What?
got it. And I was there for 3 years on the Planning Commission, and then in 2018. Um, a spot was opening up at the city council, and I was encouraged by a lot of people to run, and I threw my hat in the ring, and I ended up winning one of the three seats available on the city council, and that's where I've been since. And I've been elected now
Wow.
in 2018, again in 2020 when we had to redistrict and go to district elections, and then just recently in 2024 I was reelected.
Wow. So, what was it like working with Jackie Spear during your time as an intern or aide?
So I was her senior aide for the congresswoman, and it was probably the most rewarding experience that I have ever had as a staffer because I was able to really help a lot of people throughout the congressional district. I was in charge of, like, for example, veterans affairs, veterans cases. And these are
Oh.
our World War II vets, our Vietnam vets, our Korean vets who had applied for
Mhm.
VA benefits, but for whatever bureaucratic reason, their benefits were being delayed. And
Sad.
because of the congresswoman's advocacy and my work, we were able to recover over $5 million in VA benefits while I was there. And these were extremely helpful to our veterans, including several South City residents who had applied and were waiting not only weeks or months, but years
Mhm.
before they even got their applications processed. So I
Yeah.
was really fortunate to have an advocate like the congresswoman that kind of helped me work on these cases, and actually that helped me spark my interest in terms of like being focused locally on constituent issues. So it's helped me a lot in terms of my work in the city council.
And then my other question is, I just talked to Jackie Spears today. I was interviewing for Commissions on Disabilities board, and and I won't hear back till tomorrow. But I could have a disability advocate. But I she was nice actually in real life. It was like a dream to meet her. And
She's fantastic. It's funny. I've heard so many stories of people just seeing her at Target and shopping, and people are like, it's Jackie Spear. I'm like, yeah,
she's real, yeah.
she's just like us. She shops at Target like anyone
She
else
should
does.
know herself, yeah. This is totally. If you're in that area in Bridgeport, you'll just see her. She'll just talk to you.
Mm-hmm. She's always cared about her constituency, and that's something I've also learned about her in terms of my political philosophy is that listen to all sides of the argument. You know that it's important to hear from both sides in terms of what people are advocating for or what they're against, and ask the tough questions
Mhm.
to staff and to your colleagues and to the people who are you're talking to. Find out facts and data, and
Oh
go
yeah,
based upon that information when you make a decision.
that's thank you. And then, does Amy Lamb, your wife, is she a good cook or you're a good cook for
I'm a
Amy Lamb?
terrible cook, so if you have tips for me, please share.
Oh, I got excellent tip. I'm a chef,
I
so
know
I
you are.
got
That's why I'm
it.
asking for tips.
Oh, I'll give you some one basic tip. You can learn for your wife, Amy Lamb, is make a nice date night dinner.
Okay.
And it's simple. You just marinate, make a simple marinade for your chicken. I'll give you a recipe handwritten. It's called snail mail. It's a trend out there.
Okay. I
And
look
I'll
forward to
send
it.
you it in your mailbox.
Perfect.
And then also, I also have a question about kids' smoking initiative. What got you into this kids' tobacco initiative when you
Yeah.
were had?
Yeah. So in South San Francisco, we actually, I like to say, is like we're a city of first.
Yes.
And one of the first things I did was I introduced an ordinance that banned um, uh, 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 um, flavored tobacco,
Mhm.
because it was becoming such a problem throughout, not only throughout the country, but I was just reading these horror stories of what was happening to these kids, and like
Yeah.
we did such a good job of doing a smoke free tobacco campaign
Yes.
where like throughout the country you would see campaigns just encouraging kids to stop or not even smoke, and what you saw was a dramatic decrease in terms of young kids smoking, right? It was
Yeah.
basically almost eliminated in a lot of ways, but
Yeah.
when flavored tobacco came in, those numbers shot up.
Mhm.
And I have two young kids,
Yeah.
and
I'm nephews and
and
nieces.
yeah, Aiden and Josephine, and their health is absolutely important to me and my wife Amy. And so I thought about it as a parent, and what I would see is these tobacco shops that would promote flavorless or flavored tobacco, and the way they would promote the product, it was basically targeting young children. Like it was
Under the
like,
age of 18.
yeah,
Yeah.
like they're like cotton candy flavored, gum flavored, and I was just like, that is just not, that is a health risk. And so I was able to work with Asian American Recovery Services, which is located in South San Francisco, a wonderful organization, and they provided some great information and data of what's happening in the county in terms of
Yeah.
just young teenagers using flavored tobacco because they're using these pods,
Oh
and
yeah,
they're using it in their flavored tobacco, and it was becoming rampant in schools. And so
yeah,
we decided in South San Francisco to ban them. And not only were we ahead of the curve, we were ahead of the county. And not only
yeah,
were we ahead of the county, we were ahead of the state. The state
yeah.
eventually decided to ban flavored
Mhm.
tobacco. And so that's why I like to say, we're a city of first because we tend to set the trend
Mhm.
here in South San Francisco.
That's remarkable for South San Francisco. But there is still work to be done in our city, and we could do it, you
Yep,
know.
absolutely, absolutely.
But had Mark Diego done anything since he was mayor for the last term?
What was that? Has
Or
Mark has been a great friend and leader for our city. I've been really
oh,
fortunate to have known him since my
oh,
early
me
days
too.
in politics. And I like to say that Mark is the adult in the room.
He's a legend.
Yeah, and I say when I say this to him all the time. Like when you talk, I listen, and it's important sometimes to always do it, really, to do that all the time, but especially when Mark's doing. Cause I like to lean into what he's saying, and there's been times where I'm thinking I'm going one direction, but Mark ends up convincing me because of his arguments and because of what he's saying. And I think that's why it's important to listen to all sides of the argument when you're
Yeah,
making a decision.
yeah. But what about the council members? Have they shown the? I interviewed Coleman and Flores on my podcast. They were guests on the show, and then Mayor Flores was on the cameo for my live show. That with her
Right?
grandchild.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, what's great about our council is it is extremely diverse, not only in terms of culturally, but also I think um, politically as well. You might have members or colleagues who are a little more progressive, some are a little more moderate, some of them might be a
yeah,
little more conservative
yeah.
in terms of their political decisions. But
Hmm.
what I've noticed is that maybe we feel differently about issues, but we tend to vote in the end similarly alike. We just get there differently in terms of a
Yeah.
decision making, you know. Um, and I find that very fascinating to kind of see everyone's thought process of how they make their own decisions. And there's been times where I have disagreed with my colleagues, and that's okay. You know,
That's what I
Eh,
do.
yeah,
We're all
yeah,
disagree, you know.
yeah. And there's been times where we've all agreed on issues. Um, there's been some great things that this council has done in terms of helping our residents. I can give you an example. One of the things that I'm very proud of is we before I was trying to put together an emergency rental assistance program that would help individuals who were having a difficult time paying for rent.
Oh
Um,
wow.
and
What does that
and I did
mean?
this because I would hear stories of individuals trying to make difficult decisions of either paying for their food or their rent or their medicine. Like they couldn't do all three, so I had to pick one. And that really bothered me as a
Oh,
policymaker. Like, what can I do? What can I do better? And so I decided that I wanted to push this pilot program, and my colleagues agreed, and we were only going to do it as a pilot program for 1 year, and we were going to put like $50,000 into the program. We're just going to see how it
wow.
worked. Now, this was weeks before COVID happened and everything shut down. And when COVID happened and everything decided to shut down, everyone stayed home, we immediately realized that this um, program was going to be beneficial for our residents. So we ended up putting more money into the program. And since 2021, we have saved over 300 households in South San Francisco from being evicted because of
Wow.
this
That's
program.
remarkable.
And it's been a program that, again, we've been ahead of the county, we've been ahead of the state in terms of providing essential services to our residents.
Yeah. Because look, as a person who lives on a conservatorship, I have to deal with bills every day and my contractors, and we all have to go through that. I work as a daytime operator,
Mm-hmm.
I work as a chef, and it's everything costs money these days,
Yep.
and I know, and things add up. Medical costs, medical, and then my brother and I are just, and my two brothers and I are just dealing with an endless amount of bills,
Yeah. And so if that just a little bit of help, you know, can provide some relief to our residents in terms of, like, they'll be able to stay one more month in their home, and maybe that 1 month will allow them to do what's necessary in terms to survive and get by for the next couple of
Yeah,
months. And we've heard numerous stories from individuals saying that it's been beneficial to them, to just to get them through, maybe through a difficult time,
yeah,
and that's really, really important. And what I've noticed is, a lot of people go to the federal government to go to the state, and that's typically what people will do.
oh
But
yeah,
when those resources run out, they'll come to their local government for help, and we
oh
have
yeah.
consistently stepped up in terms of providing essential services to our residents.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. You're amazing, you and Diego.
So it's been a team effort, so call me Mark. I'm not on the dais.
You're
So,
Marky Mark.
uh, just call me Mark. Just call me Mark. I'm not on the dais right now, so it's perfectly fine to call me by my first name.
Thank you. And if you, and oh yeah, it's okay. It's all good. So, but I want to talk about, so you did bring up the smoking program.
Hmm.
Well, what do you and other councilmen, Coleman, and what are you guys are working on for the youngsters in social media programs on taking them off social media during the school hours? And kids need to kind of have a balance. Don't you think? Like your kids?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that is so interesting because I've been reading studies about,
Me too.
in terms of the amount of time ch- kids are on their devices, right?
Mhm.
And what it does in terms of their development, and
Yeah.
so, you know that's more of a conversation, like, with the school board, in terms of, like, how they're
Murray.
restricting, in terms of what they're doing in terms of the kids, because you want them to focus on their schoolwork, right? And
Yes.
not, like, playing on their iPad or the games. Like, my kids, I'll let them play, like, on the iPad when they get home, right? But only after they finish their homework, right? It's
Good
important for them.
job.
It's important for them to focus and finish, to do their homework. And it's funny. My son, like, he knows now. He's like, why I have to finish my homework before I can do anything. I'm like, okay, perfect. I don't have to worry about that, right? And my
Good
daughter,
job.
she goes to aftercare, and she does her homework, and then she can go on her iPad when she gets home. So
Good.
we really do a kind of, like, monitor in terms of their usage, in terms of their playing on the iPad.
Good dad.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, anyway, so any plans for the city for America 250?
Yeah,
Yeah.
so our mayor, Mark Nagales, is really leading this effort. He is putting together a big event for our city. I don't want to give it away,
Don't,
but
no spoilers.
no spoilers. But I would say, that you want to be around South San Francisco for 4th of July. So,
I'll be there. It's going to be the biggest blockbuster ever.
yeah. But yeah,
All
I
in.
think Mark's putting together, I think, a really great event for our city to celebrate the 250th, anniversary of our country, and that's something that he's really proud of, and we're really looking forward to it as well.
That's awesome. And then I heard there was a preview of America 250 by Donald Trump. Is that like the teaser that I got from the president from all 50 states?
Well, I think each city's doing their own individual celebration if they want to. Ours is Mark is kind of leading in terms of like the events for that day, what he wants to see in terms of the city celebrating. Um, I do know that there is a roving exhibit that's happening currently at our library, at our Parks and Recreation Center. There's a roving American exhibit for the 250th anniversary that I went to go see, which is fantastic. And so, if you haven't seen it, or if your audience hasn't seen it, I would highly recommend going.
Oh
It's
yeah,
really a great exhibit just to kind of learn about our history.
yeah. If those who haven't been there, go to the library, Parks and Rec. They have a wonderful exhibit. I go to the library to check out books, so go check it out. It's a great 250 exhibit.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm going to ask you some five questions. What you doing at the top five? We do
Okay.
this to every guest on the show. So
Okay,
you
so I'm
ready
picking the
for
top
this?
five. Okay, so I'm picking the top five. Got it. Go. Go ahead.
So favorite thing TV show to watch is number one.
Oh, my favorite TV show. Oh gosh,
Pick one.
you put me on the spot now. What is my
Hmm.
favorite TV show? Oh no. Oh, you know what? I'll say this. I just finished watching Young Sherlock, uh, uh which was really really good. It was a kind of a new spin on Sherlock Holmes, kind of a
Oh,
prequel to his story. And I was like, okay, this is really really good. And so yeah, that is my new show.
and then favorite place to see in the Bay Area, the sightseeing.
Favorite place to go.
Yeah.
So my favorite place to go right now is actually going on Centennial Trail. I've been riding
There's a
my e.
dog park on the trail. You know
Yeah,
that?
yeah, absolutely. I have an e-bike. I've been riding my e-bike on Centennial Trail, and actually this Saturday I'm hosting a bike event in celebration of National Bike Month.
Ooh.
We're going on a bike ride through Centennial Trail from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. Um, and we've have so far over 50 participants that are going to be coming to ride their bikes along the trail. So it's going to be a great event.
When I was a little girl, I used to ride a bike until at 8 years old. I actually fell down on a cliff. So
Oh boy.
I did. So I told myself after 8 years old, I would never ride a bike in a day of my life. So I decided no more.
Well, I the only times I've ever been on a skateboard, I ended up hurting myself and going to the emergency room. So I'm there
Oh
with you.
no.
So that stopped my skateboarding days really quick.
Yeah. But that I'm gonna ask you three more questions.
Okay.
Favorite podcast do you listen to?
Well, it's got to be this one now.
Rich
So
Lee has a podcast.
Rich Lee's also very good. I like listening to Rich. Rich is really good. It's a great. I've been on his
Yeah,
podcast.
it's
I
called
enjoy his
South
podcast.
City.
Yeah, I like his. His is good. So I'll say
I got
yours and Rich's.
thank you. And number four, favorite places to eat with 80.
Oh gosh. So our favorite Chinese restaurant is Ing's, which is in Westboro Square, and
Oh,
we love going there to just to eat food.
thank you.
Hmm.
And one more question. Favorite quote from either Jackie Spear or Gene Mullen.
Ah, so Jackie says this quote of uh
Just
oh god,
think at the
let's see if
top
I
of
can
your
get
head.
it. Yeah, it's she said it a lot to me in terms of failure is never fatal,
Mhm.
and that basically saying that don't be afraid to fail, because you're just if you try, that is what's most important, and you never know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it was great having you on the podcast. You were wonderful, Mark Nagales. But give it up to Vice Mayor.
Thank you very much. Thank you for inviting me. I really had a good time, and I encourage everyone to follow you. And I look forward to the cooking tips that you're going to send me, so I can finally be a somewhat decent cook.
I will send you some recipes your way, and I'll send you to the city hall address in your office. Okay,
Perfect. Perfect.
will do. You take
Okay.
care now.
Thank you very much. Have a good
Bye,
day.
Mark.
Bye.
Bye bye. So that was Mark Nagales. He was amazing. Until next time, I'm Chef Ava Marie. Hot saucy to perfection. Have a great day. And goodbye for now. Bye bye.